I don't want you to fall into that trap of thinking, you know, I'm not at the school that I like. I'm not in the major program that I like. I'm not living in the city or country that I would really want to be living in. I don't have the ideal job. And so until I get what I want, I'm gonna kind of lay low. I'm gonna kind of take it easy and just kind of relax and enjoy myself because that's the only way that I can get through this situation that I don't really like. That is a trap. There are so many skills you can practice with what you have, with wherever you are. And if you're in a situation that you don't really like, that you think is kind of difficult, it's not ideal, so much the better. Because if you don't practice these core qualities that I'm about to lay out for you, when times are tough, you're not going to do them when times are good, or you're not going to be able to take full advantage of the good times, the ideal times that you might, that you may or may not find yourself in the future, because who knows what the future holds. You really only have today. So you got to understand the core skills: being prepared, being reliable, having plans, holding your word to yourself, being on time, learning how to construct the right energy or positivity on a daily basis through proper sleep hygiene, dieting, exercise. These types of things, resilience, these types of things that I'm mentioning, you can and should practice right now, today. And you will find it's actually a bit difficult to practice and develop those things. It's not easy, but those are the core habits. Those are the sort of meta skills that you can then put on any particular situation you find yourself in later in the future. And in fact, if you are able to build those skills to a very high level, it's probably going to open up doors. You'll be more likely to have the chance to enter into those more ideal types of situations that you want in the future, because a lot of people are mediocre and average. They think like this: you give me what I want and then I'll show you what I can do. But the A players don't roll that way. The A players are going to constantly be taking your lunch, because the A players think like this and they act like this: I'm going to show my best no matter what is going on around me, and then we'll see, what sorts of opportunities come. The people who can do that when the situations around them are not ideal, guess what happens when the situations become a little more to their liking, or there's a little more opportunity? They dominate all the competition because they've been preparing. When that type of individual shows up, they take over. So these core skills, these meta habits, you can practice right now with what you have, with where you are. There's no need to put off becoming the best person you can be. Show us who you can be right now, today. What if you stop making excuses? What if you stop blaming things around you for holding you back? Brush all that to the side, take absolute personal responsibility, and show us what you can do with what you have right here today. Chances are you'll find out you're not as good as you think you are, and it's actually really difficult to do things like be fully prepared, show up early, be reliable, keep your promises, carry out your daily habits like what you said. A lot of people, they don't even keep promises they made to themselves. That's why they can't build confidence, they can't build momentum, they can't build the right energy. Other people can sense that you don't keep promises you've made to yourself to be better. So they're not going to listen to you, they're not going to want to follow you, they're not going to want to extend opportunities to you if they have them. You've got to build the right character through keeping your word to yourself, keeping your promises to yourself. You build that up. Obviously, it's a process. It takes time, step by step. You're not going to go from 0 to 60 overnight. So you have to be in it for the long game. It does take time to slowly build yourself up. But once you've strung together many, many days, many, many weeks, many, many months, you start to become a different type of person. You start to emanate a different type of energy, and you are able to lead. You are able to help people to solve those problems which you've once had in yourself, but which you've taken responsibility for and corrected. Once you become a teacher and a leader in that way in your community, you become a more valuable person. You become an indispensable person. Now you're no longer a liability. You're no longer that person that your coworkers or your classmates have to worry about. Is he going to do his part? Is he even going to show up? Is he going to be on time? What's he doing? He's the problem. You got to turn yourself from the problem into the solution, from the liability into the asset. This is the personal growth journey where you learn about yourself, you reflect on your shortcomings, and you start to target them and deal with them one by one, and you raise yourself up to your next level. And from there you go. Now you're in a position to start to access and take full advantage of more idealistic situations. Now, this might be a little bit beyond the scope of this video, but let's imagine that you were in a very idealistic scenario. That's not always the best, because then people get too comfortable. So if you do get into the right type of job that you love, if you do, enter into the right type of school or live into the right, if you have everything going just your way, that also can be a kind of a warning sign to you that you need to work super hard so that you don't become too comfortable, too relaxed, and start to regress. So take nothing for granted. Every day, every moment can be a stepping stone on your personal transformation journey. I'll see you back here in the next video. Bye-bye for now.